Hello friends, greetings, welcome to How to Learn channel. Today in this video we are going to see the Oracle Key Vault 21.9 installation walkthrough. For all the Oracle DBA, security is no stranger. Each organization may have its own security standards and norms, but they are all derived from some common standard frameworks. Okay, so the Oracle Key Vault is a product that is compliant to those security standards or norms which are already set up to protect your PA data and so on. So what does this Oracle Key Vault do? I have seen I mean, I'm not even exhaustively completed reading the documentation of Oracle Key Vault, but you may wonder what is the purpose of this Oracle Key Vault. Oracle Key Vault, as the name implies, it's a vault storing the key. Can be a password, can be encryption keys, can be a wallet, and so on. So it can generate passwords for you, it can generate keys for you and store them, and it can also store your own passwords, the passwords that you generated, the keys that you generated. It can store them as well. So it can generate at the same time, it can store as well. So it can store if the passwords generated by you, the keys generated by you, also the passwords and keys generated by itself. And it also is capable of rotating the keys periodically if it is generated by its own. And it has a lot of security implementation such that it is fail safe, and it is also, break, you cannot break it, so tamper proof and tamper evident. So in case if someone tampers it, it will show it that it is tampered. It's an appliance. This appliance will have an Oracle database and a Oracle Apex, and then a Linux OS which is security hardened. It will not have a lot of libraries. It will only have the libraries that are needed for the functioning of this Oracle Key Vault. Even you will not have SSH. After you complete the installation and the post installation, you will not even have SSH for the root user. The SSH access is only allowed when you have a break glass scenario, which is nothing but an emergency scenario, or when you need really patching or any maintenance operation to be done. So it's an appliance, just be aware. It will have Golden Gate setup, it will have Oracle Key Vault, database vault, and then the database I said. So all this we will really see when it is getting set up. All that phases will be run through by the installation. And one other thing is the installation will run for a very long time. So I'm gonna pause and show you at each phase when there is a change in the screen or some sort of that happens. And let's see how it how it happens through. I'm going to show you from the beginning, which is nothing but from the downloading of the Oracle Key Vault libraries. All right, let's get started. And thanks again for joining with me for this video. Thank you. Let me pause here and then take you to the download screen. Our agenda at high level is that we are going to download the binary and install the virtual machine from the binary, because I said it's a appliance, right? You'll have to install the appliance directly in the Oracle. Just give me a minute. Right. So this is the agenda for the video today, that we will download the binary. We'll install the download the binary. When I say binary, it's not binary, it's a virtual machine appliance. So it's a virtual machine appliance. Install the VM using Oracle VirtualBox. Yeah. And then complete the post installation using the Oracle Apex. Oracle Apex. Okay. So these are the various steps we are going to see at high level. And first is installation procedure. You can see you need to log into edelivery.oracle.com. Log in with your own username and password. In the search bar, enter the text Oracle Key Vault and click search. So if you can see here, entered Oracle Key Vault. By the time I documented this, it was only 21.8 that was available. Now 21.9 released. I think yesterday or day before yesterday. I really do not know, but in the month of July. Once you click search and then you get this product, click on this product, it will be added to your basket. And then click continue. And then when you click continue, it will ask you to verify this again. You will be able to see the platform and language. We need it for Linux x86-64. Yes. Click continue. It will ask you to accept the license, and please understand that it needs a license. Oracle Key Vault needs a separate license, but for your trial, I think you don't. For study and trial, I don't think it's of any license involved. But if you generate revenue using this, you need to pay license to Oracle. So included as part of Oracle database are certain options and packs which may result in additional cost when enabled and used. So what it means is this product as a standalone needs license, and on top if you enable this, for instance TDE has its own key. That key needs to be stored in Oracle Key Vault. But if you enable Oracle TDE, you need us to pay separately the license fee for TDE on the source database where you enabled it. Oracle Key Vault as such, it's a standalone product. It doesn't mean that when you buy license for Oracle Key Vault, you are not entitled to enable TDE on your source database without paying license. That's what they mean. And then you need to read this license statement carefully and then click download. And then once the download is initiated, it will send you a download manager. You just need to open the download manager and it will show you that it is downloading like this. And on download completion, you get a message like this, and the file will be visible like this. It's a VirtualBox image. It's an ISO file. You can see it's an ISO file. It's an image file. So once this is done, you can start a new virtual machine with the necessary compute and memory, and then you can start the virtual machine. It will start, and then we will run through the installation procedure. I'll show you the installation procedure in a minute. Okay, first is download, right? So I just walk you through the download document. All these documents will be available in the oracledbplanner.blogspot.com, which is my blog site. I'll put the URLs in the video description. Thank you. So let's go to the website actually. So it's edelivery.oracle.com. You just go in here. So you just type in the username. Right. Oracle Key Vault. Like I said, just go ahead and search. Hit enter the results. Select this. And you see view items and continue. Click on continue. To continue, select the platform language for individual release. So you got Linux x86-64 only. So we got x86-64. Oracle standard terms and restrictions. It was published on July 10th, it seems, just 13 days before. 21.9. Continue. So read the license agreement. I have read. Since it's an Oracle standard license document, I already read this. Included as part of the database, Oracle database are certain options and packs which may result in additional cost enabled and used. The ability to download, enable and use this feature does not mean you maintain appropriate license. Please confirm you maintain appropriate licenses. Specifically, right to use these options and packs or may incur additional cost based on your usage. Alright? That's what I was saying. You're not entitled because you're downloading and using this product doesn't mean that you have the necessary licenses with you. Oracle Key Vault needs a separate license, and the features which rely on the Oracle Key Vault has a separate license. Okay, and then initiate the download. Alright, let me pause here. Okay, I chose my destination And you can see the download is running. Let's see how is it performing. It's doing it 100 megabytes, 120. Okay. I think at this rate, it's a huge file. Yes, it's 28 or 30 GB. I don't remember last time how huge was it. But it will take time, and I'll keep you posted once the download finishes. Okay. All right. So in the last video, we saw the download was ongoing. Now I will show you the download finished, and the size of the file is nearly 20 GB in size. It was more or less the same size with 21.8 as well. And this is an ISO file, like I said. You can see here. Now we'll go back to our document. So we completed the download. It's complete. The appliance download is complete. Now we need to go through the installation procedure. Before we initiate the installation procedure, we need to go through the prerequisite and then the actual installation guide. And I just wanted to give you an update that I tried installing this OKV 21.8 just 10 days before, but my recording did not complete properly, and that's why I wanted to repeat the same installation procedure this time with much more caution so that my recording completes fine. So in that case, I had the prerequisite and the installation document already covered in my previous recording, but the installation part, the actual installation did not end well because the installation was going on for nearly 2 hours. I'll show you that. So before I show you this, the knowledge or the whatever that we gained from the first installation, I will show you the notebook for it. Before we go see this, I request you go through this review prerequisite and review install document from the other recording that I already have. This is coming from 21.8, the review prerequisite review install doc, but I don't think with 21.9 this installation procedure has changed a lot, because I already looked at the changes for 21.9. There is no mention about that the installation procedure has these changes. All right, so I'll leave you there. Just be aware, when I was doing the installation for the first time, which is 21.8, I had throat infection, so you may see my voice looking very different. Thank you. You go back, check that video, and we will continue with the actual installation again with some knowledge that we gained from the review of the knowledge we gained from the first installation. Thank you.
Welcome back, friends. Let's get started with the installation now. Thank you. So these are the various steps involved in the installation of the Oracle Key Vault. So let's go through this one by one. Oracle Key Vault installation steps. So ensure the prerequisites are complete. So what are the prerequisites? 16 CPU and then 32 to 64 GB memory, 2 terabyte disk space, and supported virtualization platform like VirtualBox or Hyper-V or VMware. If it is VMware, you need to enable a particular boot mode and so on. Those are and then for Hyper-V they have a separate set of recommendation. Or is supported physical hardware, which means that the Intel hardware with the Intel CPU with cryptographic acceleration or sort of that enabled. But I'm least bothered about cryptographic acceleration for my deployment mode. But we will come to know about the usage purpose. Then we will know whether we need cryptographic acceleration mode or not. Because I'm not going to use my OKV to do the decryption or encryption. So I'm not going to send the data to it. I just want my purpose is just to remove the wallet which is locally stored on the database server and offload it to the OKV. That's all my purpose is. So I need to first introduce you to OKV, isn't it? Which I think we never did it. So what is OKV? OKV is Oracle's Key Vault. It's a HSM. So there are many HSMs in the market. Luna HSM, Oracle, Azure also had a Azure also get a sorry Azure also got HSM on its own. It's a You can take a look. Azure has a provision. I mean, a machine itself for a HSM, and it's offering you an IaaS instance for HSM. You can build it on your own, or Azure also provides that HSM as a service, so you can use that service. If you use the service, then they will manage everything. If you use an IaaS instance, then you have to do everything. And the Oracle Key Vault is a HSM. So here you will install the binary, you will install everything. So you have to take care of the whole stack. And if you go to OCI, they are offering that as a service. Oracle Key Vault as a service. So they will take care of end to end everything with respect to the OKV. So what does this HSM mean? When it comes to Oracle's TDE, right? So what is the purpose of TDE? TDE is transparent data encryption. Sorry friends, bear with me with my voice because I got some cold. So you hear me crackling voice or sort of that. So what is TDE? TDE is if you want to know about OKV, you should know about TDE. What is TDE? TDE is transparent data encryption, which helps you store the data at rest in an encrypted format. Say, for instance, if you have a customer data, which is a PA data, then there is a governance law of each country which states that the data at rest should be encrypted. So even if it is, if the hard disk was retrieved by some hacker or someone, they should not have access to the PA data. That's the whole purpose. So at the rest, it should be encrypted. So now, in an Oracle database server, you are using TDE to encrypt your data at a table space level or at a table column level. These are the two methods of encrypting the data in Oracle database. The master key for the TDE is stored in a wallet, and the wallet has its own key. So now the wallet is present in the same location, same server, not same location, same server as the actual encrypted data also. So we know that as a DBA, the wallet has got two options. One, auto login wallet, and the other one is the password based login, password based wallet. So you have to enter a password or a key every time to open the wallet, and the other one is the auto login wallet. And the password based wallet is a challenging one to manage. So we will always enable auto login wallet. So every time the database is about to start, since it is auto login enabled, it will have the .so file. Automatically the database will allow the wallet to be open and on turn database to open. When and all this TD and wallet will come into play mainly during the database stop and start and anything related to the table space. If at all you have encrypted it at table space level, let's say if you're taking the data table space online, offline, or any operation, if you attempt, this wallet file needs to be in open state. There are many other conditions when and all this TD wallet file will be accessed once. Just that anything related to the encrypted operation, encryption and decryption operation, you will need the wallet key. Sorry, not wallet key, the TD master key, because Oracle database needs to have access to the TD master key in order to do anything related to the encryption and decryption. But I didn't have the exhaust list of operation, but at minimum for the database to be open, you need the wallet file access. I mean the master key access. And in turn, if you try to do a database restore also, you will need it. If you are restoring an encrypted table space, you need to have access to the wallet. Then only you will have access. Sorry. Then only you will have access to the TD master key. So okay. So this is the background. Now the risk is you got the wallet file in the same location as the encrypted data, which is a risk. So it's like you got your house and your key is under your doormat. So so the thief will come and find your keys and get into your house and do whatever he wants and then go away. It's as simple as that, isn't it? Even the locked house itself, the key will thief will break it, break open the door. But if you're keeping the key also along with it, then it's easy to do for him. Easy job for him. So you shouldn't do that. It's a part of the audit compliance. So you need to externalize the wallet file so that the hacker or anyone who wants to exploit your data will not have access to the encryption key. They will only have the server or the hard disk, but they will never get access to the TD key. How can we do it? That's when this HSMs comes into play. So the Oracle Key Vault is one of the HSMs. So you will be able to externalize the wallet file to the Oracle Key Vault. I haven't gone through the complete implementation procedure yet. I'm just going through, we are going to get started with the installation, but I'm guessing when you externalize the wallet file, I think through a REST API call, you will be able to access the master key. And yeah, and then there are the other method which I told you maybe is using a library file, which is to transfer the data and decrypt it in the Oracle Key Vault instance itself. If at all you don't want to even you don't want to even store the Oracle wallet, in that case, OKV will offer the wallet, which means that you will not create even a wallet here in the local server. Your wallet will not never be created from the server, or instead it will be created in the OKV instance. In such case, the master key will never be transferred back and forth between the servers. The master key will stay in the OKV, which means that as a actual database server will never know what is the master key. So it has to reach the OKV instance for encrypting and decrypting the table space. And I think it will work like the tape channel library file, where you transmit the data through a library file, right, for tape channel backups. Similarly, OKV we may be deploying a library file in the same path where we keep our wallet file. But we will know all that use cases and deployment procedures soon. I'll be uploading separate videos on that, but this is my assumption for now, guys. But our objective here is to talk about the installation procedure. Let's get started. So I told you about the prerequisite. So, alright, these are the prerequisites that you need to meet. OKV setup can be done using any one of the following method: guest in virtualization platform, guest in OCA compute, Oracle Cloud Marketplace as a service. So you can secure a compute instance from your local virtual machine. That's what I'm going to do. Or you can secure a virtual machine from OCA compute. Then you can deploy OKV on your own. Or you can go with the service option which Oracle Cloud Marketplace offering it. And you can also have a hardware also. So that's one other option. OKV needs minimum of 16 cores and 16 GB RAM. This is fine with us, but recommendation is 24 to 48 cores with the AENSI cryptographic acceleration support, 30 to 64 GB of memory. And it also says boot disk for the OKV installation should not be a SAN, and memory size upsize is allowed but downsize is not allowed. OKV needs 2 terabyte of storage and 6 terabyte is recommended. Okay, will allow only one network interface. You can have aggregated dual NIC installations also, but at the end, you cannot have more than one interface in the machine. Say bond 0, one interface only, or ENP0S8, one interface only. So such interface, there is only one. OKV supports x86 64 deployment with Oracle Linux 8 update 6 minimum. So this is an embedded OS. It will not be a regular OS, guys. You will not even have access to the machine through SSH after OKV installation is done. It's very hardened, very limited OS. Like how your uh, the switch OS will be, right? I think most of the switch OS are also Linux, but they will be very security hardened and very limited binaries only will be there. Whatever is needed for running the stack, those binaries only will be kept. Maybe you will not see S-trace, anything that is related to troubleshooting, you will not have it. So no RAID with minimum. Within Oracle keyword installation, only hardware RAID. So you cannot do any sort of striping or RAID on the actual OKV installation, because even OKV stack has a OS, ASM, Oracle database, and Oracle database with the Apex instance installed on top of it. These are the various stacks that comes with OKV. So they don't even put the um, they do not create multiple cooked file system. They go with ASM. So for the database date, the the key wallet store and retrieval and so on. That's done through database only. They will do a minimal installation of the database. And for all the OKV purpose is what? Wallet store and retrieval, or the TD master key store and retrieval. And they are the machines which interacts with OKV are called endpoints. Their approach through RESTful API endpoint creation requires so Java minimum of 1.7. This is a client requirement. Endpoints are the clients. You have your database, like I said, the database where the PA data is stored. That's an endpoint. That's a client, which will need a minimum of Java version 1.7.0.21 and an Oracle version 12.2.0.1. I mean, sorry, yeah, Oracle version 12.2.0.1 ships with 17021 Java version, but if not, you have to install it manually. That's all, the minimum. It's just that the client machines needs to be in a particular Java version. That's all for the RESTful API to work. And you see, no additional software is allowed in OKV. Maybe they will not allow even antivirus. Again, it's a security concern. So, and no other third-party softwares are allowed. And this is the list of firewall ports. If in case you need to publish the information to your network team, you need to ask them to allow all these firewall ports. If at all you have endpoints in both cloud and on-prem, maybe you are deploying this OKV for a hybrid setup. So, OS supported for the endpoint configurations are Oracle Linux 678, RHL 678, Windows Server 2012, 2016, 2019. DB supported for the endpoint are 12 is the minimum, and DB that needs wallet management don't have such a requirement. They can use OKV util upload and download operation. That's all. So if you wanted to store the TD master key, then 12.02 is the minimum version. The other deployment I said wallet. The wallet upload and download, you don't have any minimum version requirement. And OKV is not just for Oracle database, guys. OKV can support MySQL, which is also an Oracle product, MongoDB. So those are also supported by Oracle database, Oracle Key Vault. Okay, and so you may wonder, how will I get access to this document? I will be uploading this information also to my blog. So in case you need, you can retrieve it from there, and also to my GitHub. I will give you the URLs. So this is a OKV prereqs. And
Okay. Hope you saw the other video which I recorded some time back for 21.8. And now let's review the installation. Let's review the experience of how I performed the installation of 21.8 Oracle Key Vault before we actually start the installation of 21.9. So these were the two documents you might have reviewed in the video that I already recorded, that this is OKV prerequisite. The OKV can be installed on a guest in a virtualization platform, which is what we are going to do, or a guest in OCA compute. That again, the guest is coming from my laptop versus it's coming from OCA compute. That's the difference between A and B. That's all. And Oracle Cloud Marketplace as a service, you can have it is a service. OKV as a service also is available. When I was talking to my other colleagues, they said they are leveraging the third option, which is easy, because otherwise you need to manage the, if you go with the first two option, what is the drawback? You need to manage the appliance, you need to do patching, you need to do backup, you need to do all the maintenance operation, monitoring, and so on. But with service, it's all taken care. All you get is you consume the service. That's all you get is an endpoint that you have to provide your endpoint to the service and it will manage it. That's all. That's the advantage of deploying the OKV in the cloud. You may wonder what are the other options I have. Yes, our OKV is a HSM. Similarly, you have Azure. See, one thing that you need to know, I didn't call out in my other video, Azure Key Vault is not supported by Oracle for storing and retrieving of its key. Azure Key Vault is a HSM. Sorry, not HSM. Azure Key Vault is an appliance like Oracle Key Vault, but it is not supported. But Azure has a HSM, hardware security module, like how Oracle Key Vault is. Azure HSMs are not supported. Azure HSM, you have two again, there are two varieties in it. First one is Azure HSM as a service. Azure also providing that as a service, and the other one is how we are setting up a Oracle Key Vault as an appliance in a guest operating system. Similarly, Azure HSM also can be set up in a guest operating system, and then you can manage it. So there is a cost difference between all that, but I leave it to you to explore. The other option the Oracle supports is, I mean, Oracle supports all HSMs. Okay, so the other HSM that it is, is very well supported and certified is HashiCorp Key Vault. HashiCorp Key Vault needs enterprise license again, and that is also a HSM that is supported with Oracle. I have an experience of using HashiCorp Key Vault for MySQL database for storing and retrieving of its encryption keys. So just be aware. So a HSM is HSM is supported for storing and retrieving the Oracle TDE keys. Okay. Our primary focus for this exercise is to store and retrieving the Oracle TDE keys. We will see how it works. And you might have seen the memory requirement that minimum of 16 cores and 64 GB memory is recommended, and no SAN storage allowed. All this you already went through the prerequisite. I'm just going a quick glimpse. So memory upsize is not allowed. If you want to change the memory really downsize, you need to recreate the virtual machine, which is the tedious ask, isn't it? Okay, we need minimum of 2 terabyte storage, but I tried installing for the first time with 60 GB storage and it failed. Really, it failed, and I'll show you that. That's what I wanted to share it as an experience. So for that, minimum 256 GB on my laptop itself I need to allocate, and it wrote nearly 100 GB worth of data. So ideally 150 GB or anything more than that is good, but I would recommend we go with the 256 GB minimum because it does create a lot of partitions. During that stage itself it is throwing error, I guess. And it supports only one network interface. You can have more than one interface also, but at the end you need to bind them to all together to form only one interface that should be visible from the OS. So it's an x86 64 deployment only, now 32-bit version, and Linux 8 update 6. I wanted to see what 21.9 brings in. I'll let you know as soon as what the Linux version is. And so the prerequisites are classified into two types. One, the prerequisites for the OKV appliance itself, and the prerequisites for the endpoints, which are the clients, which will talk to the OKV. So until now, whatever we saw was the requirement for the OKV appliance. From now on, whatever we are seeing is the endpoint requirement, RESTful API, endpoint creation request Java minimum version 17201, and they notice that they don't support OpenJDK. They support only Oracle Java. Okay, Oracle 12.201 is already shipped with the supported version. Older versions are not supported. All right, so from 12.201 Oracle version, you already have our Java minimum version, which is required, already available. I'm not sure if this particular version requirements are changing, but I doubt because it's all 21. It comes under an umbrella of 21. So I don't think Oracle would have changed its endpoint requirements a lot. But anyway, I will review it and I update you before we start the actual installation video. No additional softwares are needed allowed. So this is known. OKV does not allow installation of any additional softwares. Even an antivirus is not allowed because it's a security hardened appliance. Even they don't allow many of the OS library files to be installed. Right, these are the firewall ports that you can share it with your network team. You can notice here the database port numbers, and I think this is a port number on which Apex will be allowing because it's a HTTPS port. Do you have another port is also there? This is for RESTful API, I think 443. All right, 5695 again is a RESTful API. All right. This will not be allowed port 22. It will be blocked as soon as we complete the post installation. I'm guessing this is a port through which we will talk to the, Key Vault administration happens through this port only, I think. Alright, new node to the cluster, okay. Fine. And they also say about TLS, so the, you can see here. So the endpoint should support TLS configuration, and the minimum OS version for the endpoint is 678 RHL or Oracle, Windows 22 or 2016 or 2019. And the version of the DB that is supported for the endpoint is 12.02. What does this endpoint mean? Endpoint is a client. So you have your encrypted table space. The encrypted table space is part of a database. That database version is 12.02 minimum required. For that database only you can manage the key in the Oracle Key Vault. That's what it means. And then the installation guide. If you see here the installation document, I mentioned the URL is 21.8, but I'll update this document for 21.9 as well. But just be aware, I don't think there is a lot of changes. So ensure prerequisite reviews are complete. We just saw a glimpse, and also I've gone through a detailed 14 minutes video of talking about only prerequisite. I would have spoken a lot about what is Oracle Key Vault, why do you need to use it, what is its use case, and where is a security and audit compliance requirement also in that video. But I gave you only a glimpse now, which is about 1 minute or 2 minutes, which we spoke about it. And then OKV can be installed on a dedicated hardware or a virtual machine. We are going to do it on a virtual machine. You need to secure the IP address first. This is the IP address for my last installation, but I will now change this to 122, and then validate the ISO file downloaded. This is 21.8. I will change it to 21.9. I'll show you after this document is updated again. We need to mount this ISO image to the virtual box. I will show you how to do that. And then once you boot the VM, it will show you a black screen with various options, and one of the option is to press enter to start the installation of Oracle Key Vault, or press you'll have one more option is to scroll down and click press enter to start the Oracle installation of Oracle Key Vault in FIPS mode. We will always choose this mode, not FIPS mode. And then on the prompt, after some time, so it goes through a set of validation. It verifies all the prerequisite. It checks that you have allocated necessary hard disk space. Then it does create partitions and so on. Then it comes for the root password prompt. As soon as root password prompt comes in, you need to enter the credential. Never forget to store the credential. Store it somewhere, because this is the credential that will be used for performing the post installation. Okay. And then it will reboot the machine. So since the machine is getting rebooted, you will lose the ISO image. You need to reload the ISO image, which is to remount the ISO image. Once you mount it, automatically the installation will resume. You will be asked to enter the network interface mode, whether it's a classic or dual NIC. You will choose classic, and then it will prompt you for this IP subnet and gateway details along with the name of the VirtualBox host. So you have to enter the name of the machine. Once that, the installation will continue silently. When I say silently, it doesn't prompt you for anything more. It continues. So it continues to complete the installation. Once the installation is complete, use the terminal to log in as a root user and password to set the password of the support user. Yes, you have one ID that is created as one user ID will be created, that is support. You need to set the password because the support user is the one user with which you will be able to perform patching and maintenance operation. SSH is only allowed for support user. SSH by default should stay disabled unless upgraded patches are allowed. I think as soon as you get the post installation completed, by default SSH will be disabled, and I think you will have an option in the Oracle Apex console to enable or disable the SSH. Okay, by default as soon as you complete the post installation, SSH will be disabled in the Apex itself. So we will see them all, okay, when we do the installation and post installation. I think we covered whatever we are going to do next. Now I need to show you the experience of the last installation. I told you about one error came, right? Kickstart file error, unable to open a temp partition included. So this was the error that I faced last time because I allocated only 60 GB hard disk. And that Oracle said as per this note, it can be possible because of a UID or a VMX config parameter disk. But I discovered last time that this issue is only can occur only on a VMware virtualization, but I am having VirtualBox virtualization, so it shouldn't come. Checksum of the install bin, I already verified the checksum, it was not a concern. Size of the first disk to be recommended size, so it really was a concern. So it minimum set 256 GB in the same Docker. Even if you're not allocating 2 terabyte, at least allocate 256 GB. I allocated it, then the installation actually kicked off fine. And you can see installation started at around 15:17, and it took until at least 17:43, and then the database vault was still getting configured at that time, and then it went on for another 20-30 minutes to finish the installation, right? This is how I ended up knowing about this, and it really wrote 100 GB, and I really checked my hard disk is consumed 100 GB when I completed this installation. So it does create a database. So it nearly takes 1 hour for the database creation alone. On top of it, it does a lot of hardening work. So that's the reason why it takes so long. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the installation as next step. So we completed reviewing the prereq and reviewing the installation doc until now. And next is actual installation. We need to perform the actual install. Thank you. All right. We already knew that we went through the prerequisite and then we went through the installation procedure at a high level. And also we mentioned that those documents were developed for 21.8 version. But it is known that from 21.x, it's most probably it's common for across all the version 21.8 or 21.9 because 8 and 9 are minor release versions. So, but anyway, I still wanted to be sure that the prerequisite and the installation procedures are still the same. How do I certify that? See, for instance, this is Oracle keyword installation requirement for release 21.9. So I just copy paste this content to Notepad++. I take it here, I paste it here. Similarly, 21.8. Say I go to the earlier releases, 21.8 and installation and keyword requirements. Again, the same section 2. I go here, I copy this content. I wanted to be sure the document has not changed between these two versions. So I do a compare. See, there is only one hit where the Oracle does not recommend decrease the CPU or RAM allocated to the Oracle keyword as it is an appliance software appliance for multi-master cluster deployment. In case of 21.8, I mentioned if you want to increase or decrease the CPU, that's what CPU and memory. For multi-master deployment, if you need to decrease the RAM or CPU without the database endpoint downtime, add the new nodes with the required system configuration and to the existing multi-master and then delete the old nodes. For other deployment, take the backup of the Oracle Key Vault server, rebuild the server with the required system configuration and restore the backup with recommended system configuration. So until 21.8, this is the wording that you need to take a backup, recreate the node and then restore the backup with the necessary configuration. This is what the document read. Now in 21.9 they changed this wording. That's the only difference in terms of requirement. Now let's look at the installation. See, I just wanted to be sure our document stays intact, be it 21.8 or 21.9. So this document is validated for requirement same for both 21.8 or 21.9. Nothing has changed. So this document is now certified. Now let's look at the other document, which is the installation guide. So in the installation guide, we mentioned it's again 21.8. So we can actually click this URL and go to the actual document. So this is 21.8 installation guide. Similarly, what is this version? This is 21.8 or 21.9? 21.8 only. So we need to open similarly 21.9 installation guide. So this is 21.9. Release 21.9 if you can see here. So just copy this content into the same Notepad++ console. Now we'll copy paste the 21.8 information. Also, it will not take more than a minute, but it ensures that we are not missing any single requirement or a step from the installation. Okay, here we got two hits. The first hit is from the list that is displayed. Select the Oracle Key Vault. Alright, this is for the download 21.9 and click add to the cart button and click next Oracle Key Vault 21.9. This we already documented separately how to download the Oracle Key Vault appliance software. This is okay. Now the next thing we need to do is description of 21.9 initialization installation screen.png. This is good. So this is the only difference that we are seeing. No other difference is there between the documents. So the installation procedure and the requirement procedure has not changed. So our all we needed was that, and now we are good to start. Since we got the clarity what we needed, so our document has not changed. Our installation procedure or the requirement is still the same. Now let's get started with the installation. Ensure the prerequisites are complete. Yes, we reviewed the prerequisite, and as far as we are concerned, we are going to deploy a x64. X86 64-bit version, and we have already downloaded the binary. appliance binary we need, and we have a virtual box already installed, and the virtual box is ready to kick off. This was the Oracle 21.8 key vault. Now we are going to do 21.9, so we need to add a new machine. So add new machine, and the name of the machine will be, I already have put out all this information. Actual installation requires the IP address that we need to secure, so that will be 122. This is the subnet mask, and this is the gateway, and the name of the machine will be this Oracle ATEX Oracle Vault 2. So this is maybe I will say Oracle Key Vault 2. I'll add this also here. Key Vault 2. So this is appliance 2. So in the folder I need to change the path. I cannot keep it here. Just give me a minute. Alright, so here we go. This is the name of the machine folder. We need minimum 100 GB free space or 120 GB free space available, just to ensure that it is there. So we got this folder name, and it's already recognized, you can see. And the ISO images, it says 21.8, but ours is not 21.8. Ours should be 21.9. Alright, it's all, see, we don't want the unattended installation. We want because silent mode is not supported, so we need to do attended installation. So we skip unattended installation. So we don't want unattended installation to happen. Alright, so next we need minimum 8 GB memory allocated. I have sufficient memory on this machine, 8192. Let probably I'll write it here, 8192. 8192 MB. Okay, it means 8 GB, and the number of processor is 2. So these two are done. Enable EFI special voices only. EFI is needed only if in case you have more than 2 terabyte disk allocated, or in VMware platform. So we don't need it here. And the virtual hard disk, we need at least 256 GB. So we'll type 256 GB. Alright, and then we don't need to pre-allocate. It's okay to get thin provisioned. We don't want to use any of the existing one. Alright, this is the machine configuration. We need some more changes to do, but we will do it because network related changes are still to be done. You can see this is the name of the virtual machine, and this is the folder where the machine will be stored, and this is the ISO image we will be using for the installation. Guest operating system type is Oracle Linux 64-bit. Unattended installation we don't want to do. 8 GB memory, 2 processor if we are not using. Disk size is 256 GB. Pre-allocation no. Alright, the machine is created now. All we need to do is go to its setting. Alright. So we already got the disk, so ISO image is visible and the SATA storage disk is visible. Alright, we need to go to the network now. So here adapter 2, adapter 3 and adapter 4 are grayed out, which means we didn't enable. Network 1 is enabled, it's NAT, but we don't want NAT, we want host only adapter. And that can be VirtualBox host only Ethernet adapter 2, right, cable connected. Let me just check if host only network adapter is the adapter where we have the subnet hosted. So I need to check the network preference, tools, network manager. This is 192.168.194.1. This is 10.1, so it's not the right one. So we need to select host only Ethernet adapter, not adapter 2. Okay, because our gateway is 194.1, not 10.1. Okay, so let's go back to the machine. Let us go back to the machine and select the setting, and we go to the network and we select host only Ethernet adapter. Alright, until now everything is fine. So this is the first step. We created the machine. Okay, we can be installed either on a dedicated hardware or on a virtual machine. We are doing it on a virtual machine. We already secured the IP address and we already got the file downloaded and we mounted the ISO file into the DVD drive. Yes, it is done. Now we need to boot the VM. So it says boot it, right? Let's boot it now. Start the machine. Let's wait for it for a few minutes. It should boot up with a screen which should show that do you want to continue with the uh, do you want to continue with the press enter to start the installation of Oracle Key Vault or FIPS mode. So please enter to start the installation of the Oracle Key Vault. Please enter to start the installation of Oracle Key Vault with FIPS mode, but we want the original one. If you see it, we selected the first option and is continuing now. Let's see, it will take only few minutes. Control right control is the one to exit the terminal, so just be aware. Now we enter the press enter to start the installation. That's done. On prompt enter the root password. We already have the root password here, so that will be kv hash 54321. Okay, let it take 1 minute and I'll probably, if it takes more than 5-10 minutes time, I wanted you to show until the root password at least, and then after I will pause the video or stop it. I'll show you in every now and then a face comes, because it is a very large video. It is going to take 2.5 hours or 3 hours to get the installation done. I don't want you to keep watching this installation video for that long. So I wanted to squeeze the window of the video duration to only 30 minutes, so you know only the relevant areas you can watch. So the installation has started. Let's wait. See, it's Oracle Linux 8.7. In case of 21.8, it was Oracle Linux 8.6. So I will probably put you that screenshot also. Let's wait for a few more minutes. Right, starting checking the storage configuration. This is a critical part. Last time it failed here because it didn't identify the sufficient storage. Now I gave it sufficient storage that it needs. Let's see. We are not going to stop the we are going to complete the installation, and we are not going to do the post installation. We are going to clone this virtual machine, all right, and then we'll create 2 copies of it in order to set up multi-master application. Probably we'll, okay, let's do it as a separate step, multi-master, but we will complete the installation of the standalone setup. So now if you see, we have this many partitions added. Virtual we just created, you see, images where dbfw is the database name, just be aware. Oracle temp log after, okay, so this is the default database that it creates. Oracle Key Vault creates. Preparing the transaction from the installation sources. Okay, fine, we'll leave it. We'll wait for a few more minutes. It will not take a lot of time. It went past the error that I faced last time, the error that I was showing you here last time. This error, kickstart error, unable to open temp partition include, that error now is no more occurring. We went past that situation because we allocated sufficient storage. Thing is going to install nearly 587 packages, it seems. Okay, I'll pass here. Probably it's going to take time, right? So I'll just mention 1231 package install start. Wait. All right, the installation is, the package installation is about to finish. It finished. Now performing post installation setups, it seems. So let's wait. I think it should close in a minute or so. Fine. File system Linux crypto policies system D. Select HTTPD. Okay, kernel. So it took only 3 minutes to complete the package installation. Okay, it's taking a minute. Let me just, until then I pass it again. Okay, 12:37. It finished verifying the installation, verifying the package install. You can see here it completed the package installation, installing the bootloader. Waiting for network configuration, executing over Fedora was okay. We will wait for the next landmark. I just wanted to show you where do we stand and how much more to go. You can see in the VM activity tab, right? It's tracking the amount of writes that is made to the VM since boot up. And you can see the total data written is 7.25 GB only. We are actually looking at 100 GB plus data to be written. So we have only 8% of the installation completed. Near 92% of the installation is still left. Alright, so let's watch it now. Alright, we are in the root password prompt now. You can see here, new password it asks you. Okay, we hash. You can generate the password later using KeePass or any other tool. A complicated, much complicated password, because for now installation we will keep it this way. And once the installation is done, we can change it as we wish. So the installation on, I think it's shutting down the VM. It's gonna reboot it now. So yeah, it's rebooting now. Now it will lose the virtual the device. Yep, go in here, right control, and as per the document, what it says, on prompt enter the root password. Remember it noted down, since you will need to set other credential which manages OK at a later stage. When prompted to enter root password, and then press enter again to monitor the installation, reinsert the ISO file. So it should ask me for the login. So root hash 5. Okay, it's installed. Please insert the ISO disk, it says. Need to go here, go to the setting, IDE in the storage. The IDE device, which is the device where we need to mount the device, is empty. We have two ISO images. I'm guessing this is the one, but we will be sure once we look at our file. It is 21.9 v 1043791. 1043791. Alright, this is the one. We mounted it. Press OK. Again go back. Check the storage. It's now mounted. Okay. It's the same storage, but I think by now installation should have kicked off. Fine. It's all okay. Now I think installation would have already, yes, it's already went into the next stage. You see, last time it asked you for the insert of the disk. Now it's moving forward. So the reboot is complete. Reboot complete. The ISO images mounted again, and the installation is ongoing. Let's wait. Okay, it asks me for the network mode. Like I said, we will choose the classic mode, as we wrote here already. Once the insertion is done, it will ask you whether you want the classic or dual NIC mode. So if you look at my document, I have only put down the document for the touch points only. So it will ask you whether classic or dual NIC mode. We need classic mode. So it's classic mode, and that's the interface that's connected. Now it asks us for the IP address and stuff. We already have written it down: 192.168.194.122. So 192.168.194.122. Before we click OK, we have to verify it anyway. This is OK, 250.168.194.1. So this is also OK. And the name of the host is vOracle 8x Oracle Key Vault 2. This is the name of the machine. Let's verify everything if they are proper or not. So we just keep it minimal here. Okay, 192.168.194.122. Gateway 192.168.194.1 and 250.255 0. V Oracle Latex Oracle Key Vault 2. So this is the setting. Right, so now we press OK. Alright, we click OK. It's configuring the device. Right, next step, it doesn't ask for any more prompts. Now onwards the installation is very much unattended. So it will continue until the completion of this self-contained hardened application. Once installation is complete, use the terminal to log in as root and set the password for support user. That's the next step. SSH is only allowed to support user login, which is support user. SSH by default is disabled unless an upgrade or patches are applied. Alright. So this will go on like this. So I'll note down the step detail. 1247. The network details were entered and we moved into the unattended part of install, which will continue for another 2 hours. You can keep an eye if you don't want to see the screen continuously, this black screen. You can see here how much data is written to understand what much percentage is left. See, it's already 8 GB now written, and it will ideally go up to 100 GB like I said. So at this stage it is 8%, 8 GB written. We are expected to go up to 100 GB. I'll keep this updated and I'll let you know. Okay. Alright, 1310 it went to create repo, and it is still in the create repo step, and 48 GB it has written until now. So keep you posted. It earlier said doing dependent setup for the Oracle Key Vault, and now it's in create repo. So 1321 same create repo, 48 GB written. We have another 50% of data to be written, but there are a lot of configuration and compilations and all. Let's wait. Okay. Thank you. I'll keep you posted. All right. Right now we are in apply grid RU and we have written 56.18 GB. Thank you. You will see all this in the video. Thank you. Okay, so it did upgrade Oracle Apex, and then it did actually RU application. I think I remember seeing what it was. Anyway, I'll show you now. So just a minute. You can see here it's 60 GB now. Beginning installation of Oracle Key Vault appliance installation. So 60 GB it's written, and in middle there was one more installation. Just give me a minute. All right. Between this upgrade Apex and OKV server installation, there was OJV MPSU. that was getting applied, and that was 59 GB. So you can see 1340 and then 1342 OJVM was getting applied. So let's say 1342 OJVM PSU applied. It was the same 59 GB. And next in I think around 1346 this step began, installation of OKV appliance. 1346, yeah, 4 minutes or so it took for the OJVM PSU application. Anyway, we'll watch, we'll keep you posted. Thank you. All right, we have gone through a lot of steps. Right now I think it's updating the final status. It has completed the OKV installation. I think the size of the total data that is written is 104 GB. I'm guessing it's going to reboot the machine. So finishing up 104 GB. I think it's going to reboot the machine. Full time routine. Okay, switching to full time, full runtime, because it said stopping the DB. So anyway, I'll keep you guys posted. This one is the final update I wanted to give. Thank you. All right, the install finished, and you can see here, and it rebooted the machine. It came to the login prompt. If I go here, kv hash 5321, these are the various file systems. We can see 125 GB allocated to WarLib Oracle. This is where Oracle database resides, I think. DBFW is the database name, and 105 GB we wrote. We have a SSH access. I'll show you how to access this through SSH also. Until you finish the post work, you will have SSH access. You see, that's the name of the database, DBFW. All right, so I'll continue with my further checks. I'll need to do one more quick recording of I need to show you all the screenshots that were captured during the installations for a better grasping or understanding. We'll just see it in a minute. Thank you. Okay, and so we finished the installation. Now I just wanted you to take through the various screens at various timestamps, the actual how the installation really happens. So it may give you a clue about what are the various phases involved in the OKV installation. And in case you run into an issue, you also know that this particular step should really not take this far. If it is taking more than the duration that it is expected to, which I am going to share now, then you can assume that there is some issue with the installation. Okay, because this installation is really very long. If I show you this, you will understand. You see here, it took nearly 3 hours. Install duration with the 6th gen Intel processor with a very good SSD, okay. It took nearly 3 hours. Alright, so let's go on, and you can see this is the initial step, maybe 50 GB you see here, right? Around package installation create repo 1310 is from when I actually started generating the screenshot. So 1310, from 1310 until 1323 it was in the same state. Okay, so nearly 13 minutes or 15 minutes it took. Create repository, then apply RU. You can see here applying grid RU, it was around 1328. Applying grid RU doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be running on IaaS. It can be on a file system with Oracle HA stack, SIHA, which they call it as single instance high availability. So 1328, so which means that between the create repo and applying grid RU. Okay, let's see by when it finished. Every 2 minutes once I took, so you can see 1334 also it's the same, and 1336 it changed. So from 13 nearly 20, when did we see 28 until 36, nearly 8 minutes it took for the applying grid RU step. Upgrading Apex 23, and I don't capture any step which took less than 2 minutes. It's only 2 minutes interval I took the snapshots. So you can imagine every 2 minutes once I took a snapshot. So whatever that was going beyond 2 minutes interval, then that is pretty long step. Okay, upgrading Oracle Apex, that lasted from 1336 until 1342, so nearly 6 minutes. And then OGVM patch nearly took 2 snapshots, again 4 minutes. And you can see it's beginning to install the Oracle Key Vault server application. All right, and you can see here again beginning installation of Oracle. So 3 snapshots passed, same timestamp it shows. I don't know, the clock got reset, I guess, here. Yeah, it was showing 1346, right? I think there was a server reboot in between, and so the clock on the virtual machine has got probably reset. It went back in time. So 1346 again 12:50. If it shows it has 1 hour back, it went, which means that it's like when it boots up, it is using GMT clock or something like that. Anyway, 150 only we have to consider, 4 minutes, 6 minutes, and on top. So it took nearly 6 minutes or so for the installation of beginning of the installation of Key Vault server application. Okay, and then the Oracle railing again it took 2 minutes, I think. Yeah, 2 minutes, and then installing OKV application starts here, and it goes on 12:56. Already 2 snapshots went by. Third, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So nearly 16 minutes it took for the installation of OKV application, and then updating groups, unpacking Oracle Golden Gate software. So it took 2 snapshots, and then installation of the Golden Gate software. So nearly 5 to 6 snapshots for the installation of Golden Gate, nearly 10 minutes to 12 minutes. You can say like that. And then AVSys permission. These are again the Oracle component or Oracle configuration begins here. Applying patch for the UI, I think user interface. Then ORDS. Again, these are all part of Apex configuration, installing ORDS. And then you can see it's the same 3 steps, went by 6 minutes. Disabling database auditing, okay. And then suspending Oracle label security, removing unused component. OLS components are removed, I think. So minimizing dbfwdb. This is dbfwdb is the name of the Oracle instance and the database running on this Oracle Key Vault. So you can see it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So nearly 15 to 16 minutes it took on the minimization of the dbfw database minimization, hardening of the database. Receiving Oracle database vault, okay. Receiving Oracle database listener, restarting the database in normal mode, revoke public grants. I think it's towards the end. See here, it's already 2:06. I said it's 1 hour. 1 hour. The clock is 1 hour behind, right? So ideally it is 3:06 in my machine. So revoking public grants and switch to full runtime. Yeah, installation is completed actually. This is after the reboot. I needed to resize my screen to see the actual putty prompt you can see here. So, and it was the 3:28 by when the installation finished. Okay, this is the completion of the installation alone. Now we have to look at the post installation. Let's get started. All right, so we have to initiate the post install. All right, we start with the post installation. So already completed the documentation for the post installation. I've gone through the document. So the first thing is that you need to be aware of is that you may not be able to access the appliance that you configured just now using SSH. So even if you try accessing it, you will get a network error and it will say connection timed out, even though you connect from the same subnet or a network from where this machine is sitting or residing. But this is not a concern. This is expected. You cannot connect to the appliance using SSH. So you have the terminal. You can connect using the terminal. You log in as root. And you go as the password you just configured, and you will be connected. And you will see all these Oracle processes that are running. You can see so many Oracle processes are running, and there is a listener with the name listener only, and there are lot of Beckett connections. And then you have this Oracle Apex running on port 8080, and then you have local equal to no connection many. I'm guessing they are coming from the Oracle Apex. They are coming from the Oracle Apex, and I saw last time that this database is not deployed as container database, and it's a very huge risk. Reason after 23 dot, now we are actually looking at 23C, 23A. In 23A, you only have an option of container pluggable database. I think Oracle will manage to push the patch when we actually get a patch from Oracle next time. They will eventually push the database to have a container database or containerization. I think there will be a huge change in the OKV stack. I don't know why they deployed it like this. And then you see this ORDS service running. See here? So that's also out there. And then local equal to no. Okay, so if at can switch to Oracle user. Receiver tab dbf4, right? Yeah, Oracle asset is dbfwdb. You can see it's much more or less a 19.23, just 3 months before 19.23 got released. Now, last week 19.24 got released. So let's see if it is container. It's not container. Okay. So who are all are created? I am just being a DBA. We will do all this exploration. Anyway, so you have OPS DBFW, I think. Some OS trusted user account is created here. OS trusted DBV account manager, OS trusted DBV owner. Right, something to learn from Oracle's implementation. Anyway, then what components have they installed? I don't know whether we can connect externally using 1521 or 1522 port number to this database. We will try it later. So 10 components are installed. Oracle label security is still there because database vault is there. So Oracle database vault needs Oracle label security. Alright, and what is the size of the DB? This, this is 5 GB in size. And where do they sit? They all sit in Valley Oracle only. So which is what we saw. And so how is the radio logs are configured? This is the default configuration you get, I think. Alright, they are doing 500 MB for the radio log. Okay, and there are 3. Are they creating multiplexing? No multiplex, it's non-multiplexed Oracle database. They have trimmed it down, but they have not. Oracle by they themselves did not implement a lot of standards. Okay, how is the control file? Is it multiplexed? Yeah, control file is multiplexed. All right. They kept a lowercase instance, uppercase database name. Our database name will always be uppercase anyway. And then, how about the list of users connected to the session? Let me just check that. Who are all connected? And how this is stripping, almost like stripping down the installation. Just trying to understand how this is done. Normally, Oracle doesn't recommend you doing all this. You can see OPS.dbfw. There are 8. JPH user. I don't know what is that. ORDS public user is the one used for ORDS service. And rest user. Okay, fine. We are good with this examination. And saying heavy swapping observed. I don't know why. What is the memory configuration for this machine? I didn't check that. 300 is the process count. I don't know whether that will be sufficient. RK log mode is enabled and processes is 2000. Sessions is 300,022. What was 300 then? DDL lock timer. Okay. Max string size extended. Okay. They implemented extended column width for varchar too. Alright. Which is not the default value for your information. Undo EV undo. The retention 3600. Okay, for 1 hour they're retaining the undo. And right, they're not pointing to the IP address we gave, they're pointing to the local IP. So you cannot connect from external also. And they have particular event enable. And then yeah, they have a huge page configured and they are consuming huge page, which means that they are having SG and PGA only. Then why am I not seeing SGA PGA values here? Why? Yeah, it's here. SGA target 4.4 GB and PGA aggregate limit 0. Right, they're making it unlimited. PGA 1 GB, so totally 5 GB. Okay, fine. Already 3 GBs, 1 GB swap is being used. Fine. Normally, when Oracle configures any Oracle database server, they have a memory ratio. So anything less than 4 GB, I think you need to allocate twice the memory, twice the size of the memory for Oracle DB server. Anything in the range of 8 GB, I think until 8 GB, you need to allocate twice. From 8 GB to 16 GB, you need to allocate 1:1. More than 16 GB, you stay at 16 GB. This is what the swap configuration that Oracle recommends. But here, it's not the case. 8 GB I allocated, which means that at least 8 GB swap should have been created in the partition, swap partition, or at least I should have had a 16 GB memory swap configured, but it didn't happen. So I don't know how Oracle Key Vault is being configured with Oracle database with such pathetic configuration. Anyway, we did some strip down. Now let's actually focus on the actual post installation, which is our main concern. Now we're not bothered much about this error, but we wanted to ensure that we set the password for the support user, which we missed. So let's set up the password for support user. It will be the same password. Okay. Alright, the password is set. All I need to do is put it in my inventory. So root or support, it's already set. Okay. And then the the post install mainly involves setting up the administrator user account. So you have a key administrator, system administrator, and then audit administrator. Three administrator accounts are there in the actual OKV installation, post installation configuration. All those three administrators, and then setting up the recovery passphrase and DNS NTP setting. On top of it, monitoring and alerting. So all that are there. We are going to stay step by step. So using the web browser, first we need to connect to the URL 192.168.194.122. You will see this your connection is not private security warning, but don't worry about this. Let me just refresh it once, advanced, and click on proceed. Once you click on proceed, it will directly take you to the root login password prompt. I don't know. Yes, it's going now. See, it's asking for the root password. It didn't ask me for the username. It's directly asking for the root password. And that's what the document even said. It will report not secure, but just proceed. Use root password for the post install only once config. It will not ask you any other password. Okay, it will not allow you to enter any other user. We don't know any other user. So let's log in here. Enter the password. Oh, incorrect root password. No, this is the root password. I think if you don't follow the security norms, I think it's not accepting. So let me go change the password for the root also. Alright, the password that I set was, because it has a condition like this. So let's see if this at least works. If not, then again I'll try changing the password. Let's see. Because it has a list of okay, see, this is written in the Oracle documentation that Oracle has some set of restrictions towards a password policy. You need to have passwords with this special character dot comma underscore plus and colon. These are the only set of characters, special character that is allowed, and it needs the uppercase and lowercase combination, 8 characters minimum. So probably what I do is I'll change this password for support user also the same way. All right. All right. So this is also done. All right. So so if there is any only OKV admin, you can keep all three as same user, and then the next step that we need to do is, all right. So we got the login page, and you can see here it is asking us to set up the key administrator, system administrator, and audit manager. Three user accounts we need to set, and allow forward grant is by default enabled. So this allow forward grant allows this key administrator to grant the key administrator permission to any other user. So that's what this allow forward grant means. So for me, I have decided I will not have a three different user account. I'll have only one user account, which is admin. Username is valid. Okay, admin, and I will have the same credential for everything. So it's optional full name and email address. You don't need to do this. So, and you see, I'm going to keep the same as key administrator. I'm not going to change it. It doesn't make any difference, right? Same as system administrator, again C key administrator. Recovery passphrase, same. I'm not going to change it. So time synchronization. So I need to time setup manually. System time. Is it not displaying the system time properly? It's an UTC. Yeah, it's fine only. Why do we need to change it? I have not set because it's proper only. I don't have DNS setup, so I'm going to skip the DNS for now. I need to configure DNS servers for myself. So once I have it, I'm using DNS setup using etc host file only. I have one DNS server. I need to probably start that machine and then I need to put this IPs in the machine so they will start functioning as a DNS server. But for now, we'll skip the DNS setup also and we'll click save. So be aware guys, this is a one time ask only. After you save this, you will never see the screen. So be clear with whatever information you're entering. After this, there is no choice. Alright. So save. Let's see. It's still loading. You can see here. Let's give it a minute. Alright. Now it went to the prompt. This is what Oracle even said. After you create this or save this page, you will never get that page. Okay. Let's see if you are able to log in as root now. It won't, I think, allow you. Reason because root is not a valid administrator user account. Admin is the user account, and yeah, I entered the wrong password for root. Let's see. Is it really not going to allow me? Yes, it's not going to allow me. 8 seconds to log in to sign in again. Okay. I need to update my credential. Okay. Admin KV 5432. Passphrase. We need to just put this URL. This is a one-time password only. So it will change as soon as you log in as administrator user. But anyway, I'll try to retain this somehow. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't allow you. See, it doesn't. You need to change it. That's why it's a one-time password. What will happen if I set it to the same value? Okay. Password memory is 8 to 30 character long, upper lowercase, cannot be same as old password, doesn't accept, so I need to change it. No choice. What was the other credential they wrote? Underscore sign, okay. I'll put that underscore sign there. Alright, let's do this. For admin alone, the password will be different because it did not allow me to set this password. I think if I go tamper the password I think I can go into the database and change the password for this. But that's when it becomes tampered. So the Oracle key will become tampered and it will follow the tamper evidence and it will start showing up, I think. I don't want to do that anyway, not right now at least. So I'll update my sheet with the new password that I made. I don't want any change. want to make it much complicated. All right, you can see the keyword administrator console. This is the console. Okay, so we will start adding endpoints in future, which is nothing but wallet-based endpoints, and also we'll set up some new transparent data encryption where we will generate the keys from here, and then we will use it. Keys and wallets, right? And it's more or less like 13C console, 12C OEM or 13C OEM console. So users admin is only, user is a system admin, key admin, and audit manager. System. All right, let's see. What do you get in the system tab? It has been up for 10 hours and 11 minutes. Yeah, ideally from 3 o'clock in the afternoon until now 10 o'clock. So it's almost 10 hours. And the version is 21.9. Used disk space is 31 GB of 120 GB. Used fast recovery area. Oh, okay. It prints the recovery area destination for the Oracle. 9% used. Primary standby status. It's a standalone configuration. There is no standby. All right. Now backup done. Think it has a self-signed certificate and it's valid for next 3 years. Default, okay. Certificate key length. Certificate expiring. Platform certificate expiring 364 days and is active. Okay, what does it mean? Failed setting in reader rights. Okay, read write notes for a cluster to go in read only restrict addition expired. Adding a new node to the article, you cannot double it. Okay. Alright, so this is the first one to go off. So we need to ensure that this certificate never expires. Alright, and this is a multi-mode, multi-master cluster, I think. If at all we need to add new node, I think we'll have the cluster name, cluster subgroup name. I think everything will be we need to add more nodes to this. I think yes, we are going to anyway add more nodes. We will see that in the next video. I am not sure if you feel this video is very lengthy, but I think we did some sort of strip down as we normally do whenever we do any product installation. We normally do a detailed deep walkthrough. That's what I did. You can see here and one of the videos that I would have called out that this Oracle keyword also support MySQL key restore and retrieval. MongoDB also it supports. So that's why you see here MySQL encryption keys, SSH keys, DB passwords, certificates. So this many, I think this is a asset. So how many master keys you have? How many SSH keys you have? How many passwords are you storing? How many certificates, server certificate or any other certificates that you have? Symmetric keys, golden gate master keys, MySQL, secret data, private keys. I think for instance my private key if I want to keep, I think I can keep it also. ACFS volume encryption keys, okay. How many Oracle database are talking? How many non-Oracle database are talking? How many SSH servers? How many non-Oracle? I think Linux servers. I think it is maybe registered, enrolled, and suspended. KMIP, RESTful API status, CPU utilization 5%, standalone deployment mode. Okay. Why it shows an alert? No successful backup done. Probably we will take one backup if it allows us. So system full backup alert type. And this is audit trial. Okay, reset of the password. It properly shows up what are the actions you have. Okay. I need to explore about how to configure the DB server backup as well. So anyway, a lot to learn, and I think we started well. And we will reach. We'll go to the place we will need. We'll learn. Okay. So you see, it has an option for configuring HSM as well. All right. Web access, console certificates, server certificates. Okay. Manage server certificate. Okay. I can change this. I think server certificate validity also to 720 days or 1060 days. I don't know what will happen, but I think I can generate a server certificate and change it. I don't know what impact it does create, but we will learn about all this. Right, for now, let's log out because this video is already very lengthy. I don't want to take much of your time. I wouldn't suggest you that you do all this pretty long video in one go, and watch for some time, take a break, digest, and then continue with the rest of the installation. Because I didn't do this video capturing in one single shot, I actually took a lot of time. And nearly, say for instance, I actually started reading about this OKV at least a month back, and then I took a lot of time going through a lot of YouTube videos also myself, learning about where is the OKV implementation and how they have implemented. We will even talk about persistent cache, multi-node, multi-master replication, read-write pairs, read-only pairs, read-only pair implementation in a read-write setup. So all that we are going to see in the next videos. But you also take time digesting this information and then watch my video in subsets also. It's absolutely fine with, but it's up to you how you want to digest it. So thanks guys. Thank you so much for your support until now. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to How to Learn channel. Again, I'll meet you in the next video. We are going to learn a lot about OKV. Thank you guys. Thank you. Bye.